welcome to another one of Nate's chill artsy streams. I'm excited about today. I had a lot of fun yesterday, so pretty excited about what we're gonna be working on today. I'm Nate. I remember, I can never forget you. Alright, I'm going to get I'm just getting hell ready for you, Nate. Just hold your little britches on. Just hold on to your little britches there. Get my thought out eventually. Goodness. So I talked to the gang about about the textures for the letters, and because you know how you guys saw me like digging through all the ones yesterday, they basically said to make a more focused dump, like only turn on the texture dump when you're about to open the letter. That way you know you only get like maybe a few other miscellaneous ones, and you know you get all the letter ones. Morning, Akena. What are you doing home? You're never home. So long story short, I need to like hold on to one of these, Oh, actually, I have more skyline paper. Good. I'll just hold on to the excess skyline paper. Because I think I've got it done. I did like the little tweaks and everything. I think I got it done. But I want to do like a focus dump of the skyline paper just to make sure, so we'll leave that there for now. In fact, I'll go ahead and leave the fireworks paper down here as well. It's a snow day. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, the kid has been out, like, the kid was out Friday. For some reason, he had a 4-day weekend for President's Day. I don't know. So he was out Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday, and then yesterday was a snow day, and then today's a snow day. So it's just like, really, school? Really? That, like, this is what you're doing? Because he wants to go back to school. He keeps like asking, like, we got school tomorrow? I'm like, no, not tomorrow. So we're not very happy with the school. I don't know why that they had a 4-day weekend. Like, I can understand maybe having President's Day off, which I still think is a dumb day to take off school, but so he's getting antsy, but he's being good aside from that. Me, however, I'm never good. I've just been bad. Oh yeah, I got a master sword. I got a master sword, and I'm very excited about it. I need to show that thing off. Why didn't I put that down yesterday? It was in the store yesterday. I was like, well, yes. Can't do anything with it, but it looks freaking cool. In fact, I will just put that right beside the statue here. There we go. That's a good placement. Yeah, I got a master sword. It was in the shops. I was like, all right. Whoever finds it's a hi-fi stereo, it's somewhere in one of the 2 acres. So if you find it, it's yours. Well, you know I'm gonna find it. So one of these. Here, let's place your bets. Place your bets on where it's gonna be. I bet it's gonna be here. I bet it's gonna be in this acre, F2. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I need to actually like open up my mail and see what I got from the museum. I have gotten nothing but like repeat fossils. Like I got my other fossils done way before now in my first playthrough of this. Like, I've just been getting the same fossils over and over and over again. So yay, Kenner, you get to see my cool like artsy stream today. I was like, oh yeah. This is an artsy stream. I'm starting off with this, but I did the same thing yesterday, where I actually got off my butt and did some texture work. And I did the skyline paper. So Ammonite, I know I already have that. Dinosaur track, I know I already have that. Potato tail, I think I do. And I'm gonna actually, I did the skyline paper yesterday. But I'm gonna actually show you guys stuff that, cause I'm gonna start working on my like channel sort of, like I'm gonna do like a frame for my stream and everything, that's sort of Animal Crossing themed, but we're gonna do it like a bit at a time because there's several pieces I want to do. There we go. And I want to show you guys how to do some neat tricks for like texture work. Hey Vanilla, how's it going? Sorry, I haven't had any time to like share the fossil texture on Twitter, but I'm sure we're gonna find one here in a bit. I just started for the day, so. Man, I'm all sniffly. I woke up literally 20 minutes before. This is the first day I've gotten to sleep in like months. Cause it was a snow day, so I didn't have to get up to put the kid on the bus, and he actually slept in. Like he slept until I like peeked my head in, and then he was like, Nathan. So I took advantage, and I like looked at my clock. I'm like, it's 20 minutes till I gotta stream. Oh, geez. So I like got up, made him some cereal, made myself some coffee, got the stream set up, and I was in here on time, dang it. So I feel pretty good about that. There's not like, I was gonna try to brace myself up against that wall. I don't think that was gonna work very well. Nope. Really surprised I haven't found any textures yet, actually. Kinda weird. Not textures, fossils. What am I talking about? So I'm gonna teach you how to do stuff in the artsy stream, in the artsy section. I'm gonna actually show you how to do like this ground texture, like a repeating, blending ground pattern that you can just take a square of it and put it next to another square, next to another square, next to another square. Nate is not very good at arts, no. In fact, this is something I taught myself how to do yesterday because I knew it was something I wanted to do for my thing. So I'll show you guys how to do that. And it's not gonna be a perfect science. And there's like different ways, there's actually kind of different approaches to it. There we go, there's my new texture. That's the one I did. That is in the texture thing now. I'm officially credited as being a texture artist for this texture pack. It's really cool now. So that's my first texture. Not gonna be my only one. I already worked on another one yesterday on stream, but feeling pretty excited that I am officially like that's part of the texture pack now. Well, that's the goal. It doesn't look almost the same. Like here. Why is this not? Oh, I was hitting the wrong button. That's why. Here, I'll like make this a little bit bigger. Okay, let me show you the difference. Okay, so this is it right now. Obviously, let me move that out of the way so you can see it clearly. This is it normally. And that's it before. So like it's a lot cleaner looking. So that's it originally, and that's what it looks like now. It's got the same aesthetic. It basically looks visually the same, but I just made it look better on higher res. I really don't want to grab those right now because so I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, so today we're gonna do no, I'm not gonna do snow. I'm gonna do like a little grass pattern. But same sort of idea for doing the texture work, for that at least. You'll know how to do that. Be incorporated. It's whenever they, like, I've got some minor, I think I got it done. I did fix the edges. You know how it like had like the lines on the edges where it didn't repeat smoothly. I did fix that off stream, and that works. But there are a couple tweaks I want to make. Like minor things, like some of the windows. I'm like, nah, it should have been smaller, or the windows, like the 3 windows on the tower ends up being 5 windows, so I needed those to like be distributed evenly. So there's like a couple tweaks I want to do. But assuming I get it done this week, I'm hoping Brackenhawk will have a chance to put it in Saturday. But Brackenhawk has like a full-time job, also streams, does all these crafts and stuff. Like Brackenhawk is a very busy person. So while they try to get all this stuff ready for stream and ready for the texture pack, it's a lot of work. This last update, while it doesn't seem like there was a lot added to it, including my texture, there was like 147 new texture files added. So the fact that Brackenhawk has to like look up the hashes to put them in properly and organize it all and get it ready to go is like, it's a big ordeal. So Brackenhawk is working on it. But it could be this Saturday, it could be later. It's one of those things. Hi everybody. Now today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I had a lot of fun working on the texture yesterday, but I'm gonna try, we're gonna work, oh, there we go. Yay. I'm gonna show you guys how to do repeating blended patterns that you could use for a texture like a ground texture. So if you guys ever make a video game, you'll know how to do this, where it's like this, where it's just like a square of this, but if you put it side by side, it looks like a blended ongoing texture. So it looks like one big texture instead of several little ones. And I taught myself how to do that yesterday, so this should go well. It's something that I wanted to do for my channel overlay, because I want the frame to kind of be the grassy background. Well, every time I say it, you know, because nobody else was here. Did I not get the jackpot one today? I don't think I did. It did seem like I was one short. Maybe I just didn't shovel fast enough. Oh well. So I want my frame for my like kind of the background of the frame to be. Stop it! Don't mute me. Thank you for the host, Vanilla. I wanted my frame to be the grassy pattern and everything. So for that, I need to actually make the grassy pattern first. I gotta find, there's a hi-fi stereo buried somewhere as well, so I gotta get on that. Somewhere in the 2 acres, apparently, so somewhere in here. So I already found the money rock, which saves me that stress. Unless I already got it. Did I get it the other day? When was this post made? I might have already gotten it and like sold it. I don't think I did. February 20th. Oh geez, when is that? Oh, that's today. Okay. We're good. It's made today. It's somewhere in there. I bet I know where it is then. But yes, before we get onto the artsy stuff, we'll play a little Animal Crossing and just have a chill old time. You and your gassy pattern. It's a grassy pattern. Oh, of course, my boyfriend would agree with you on the gassy pattern. You were not what I expected back here. I would love a house that was actually just like right behind it was this little like alcove by the creek. Like that'd be super nice. That'd be like really. I'd just set up a chair here, sit back and read. Like man, I say that I'd probably just play video games, but you know, it's the thought that counts. Where is it? Where's this thing? It's probably hidden behind a tree or a building or something, and it's gonna be impossible to find. Like it's probably in here or something. Another benefit to the rolling pin camera in the future games. It's not foolproof, but it does make it a little bit easier to see behind some trees and stuff. I'm very excited about the new Animal Crossing, but I'm also like, I don't know. I really like this one. I feel bad. I put like a seed of doubt in Brackenhawk's head of like, what if they're just doing an HD version of this game for the Switch? Because they haven't said anything else. They're just calling it Animal Crossing, which of course is all this one was called, and we don't know any more details. Oh, holy crap, I bet it's that right there. So now Brackenhawk is like terrified because we've put like, before I even got here, they had put like months into this job. There we go. Found it. Can't hide it from me forever. Do I fart at my poor boyfriend? Do we fart at each other? Released the characters I got the game 2 years ago for. That's hilarious. That's a good point. There was a lot of reasons why I don't think that they would. It was just like a very, like a what if situation. But I don't think, I don't know. I don't think they would. I think some fans want it, but I think more fans do want just a new one. I don't think they would simply because I think more people would actually be pissed at them for, because if they were planning on doing that, they should have said that initially. But people have been waiting for a new Animal Crossing, and expecting a new Animal Crossing. So if we wait all this time, like I know I wasn't the only one that was disappointed about Animal Crossing not being mentioned in this direct. I had other people being like, "Why wasn't Animal Crossing mentioned?" So here we'll get rid of this boy. Can I? There we go. No, I wanna drop that there. Boom! Look at that, way classier. I actually really don't wanna. No, well, I wanted to keep that there. I just didn't wanna. Guys, I can't play Animal Crossing. I'm really bad at it. But no, I think a lot of people would be really pissed if at this point they were like, it's the first Animal Crossing again, but on Switch. Like, there's some nice things about it, don't get me wrong. Because I'm sure they would have, like, online multiplayer where you could go to people's villages, which you can't do in this one without doing, like, you can't do it at the same time and things. Like, they would add modern things to it, I'm sure. Which would be kind of nice for this one, but I still think enough people are wanting a new Animal Crossing game at this point that would be a really bad call on their part. And that's coming from a fan of like the original Animal Crossing, obviously. Like, I really like this one. But for me, a new Animal Crossing doesn't mean this one disappears. But if we get another one of this one, it does mean a new Animal Crossing disappears. Like, I could have both if the new Animal Crossing is a new Animal Crossing. Whereas, because of course we're also doing the HD texture pack, which is not that bad. I was looking at the file size for GameCube games, and it's like 1.3 gig. Like each GameCube game is like 1.3 gigabytes. I'm like, that's insane. That's so small. Yeah, like so many people would be like really mad about it. So I don't think they'll end up doing that. But I am excited for it. But yeah, so I feel bad because I left that seed of doubt, and now Brackenhawk's like, but I don't think they will, but what if? Because again, like people have put over a year into this, and not only the translation team, but the texture pack team and everything is just like, everybody would just be going, well, because there's no way they would just do the American version if they were doing the HD release. They would have the E+ features, which means we wouldn't need the translation for the E+ version that they're working on. And it'd be all HD textures, which means we wouldn't need the HD texture packs. It's just like all this community's hard work would be like all for naught. So we're like, oh, okay, please no. I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. It's just, again, it's like that. It's a little seed of doubt, but it doesn't make logical sense for them. Mainly because what Animal Crossing has become is like, in a way, each Animal Crossing game is a new release. None of them are, like, I wouldn't really call them sequels because they're all in new places. Yeah, sorry. I was just talking about that. Hi, Brackenhawk. How are you doing? But in a way, like all the Animal Crossings, I don't consider them sequels. They're in new places. I mean, obviously, every time you remake a town, it's in a new place. But they're in like new settings. You're a new character every time. Like they don't seem like, it's not like an ongoing story or anything. In a way that they are reimaginings every version. So it'd be really weird for them to decide, let's go back and remake the original, simply because in their eyes, I imagine they've been doing that. Like, why go back and redo the original? It almost seems like a step back. You're kidding. Guys, we're gonna do some fart today. Hope you guys are ready. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. I would do that. Guys, start sending me in some farts, please. I'm not popular enough for fan art yet. Oh, I wanna enjoy. It's very kitschy. I'm gonna buy that. I want a nice clock in my house. Okay, don't judge me. Oh yeah, the raffle's like next Thursday too. Mario Marathon calls it fanart. It's not as good as fart. They're slacking. So I taught myself something new yesterday. Brackenhawk, I've already told everybody this, so they're gonna be like, oh my god, again. I taught myself how to do like repeating blended textures in this shouldn't be there. This should be like in the back somewhere, probably. We'll move that. So like the I'm proud of you, young master. So I was gonna show everybody how to do that today. I literally taught myself it yesterday because I'm wanting you. I like your channel, like your channel art and stuff. You inspired me. So I want to do something sort of Animal Crossing themed. I'm not gonna directly rip your channel, I promise. But I kind of like the Animal Crossing aesthetic. So I'm gonna do something along those lines, and I'm going to do repeated textures, not of the snow, but I'm gonna show everybody how to do like repeated blended, like just like grass textures. And I'm gonna make my own version of that, and then have that butcher mine. Really? Oh, well, I like it anyways. I imagine if you've had it for a while, you probably get like really antsy with it. But it works. You've got like the little, I'm actually curious. How do you do the stages? Are those all separate scenes? So you just change the scene where the background is like you got a different background for each scene to show like the changes of the stages. But I totally get getting antsy with like the art and stuff. I've had my little I don't really use it in my actual streams anymore, but my branding and stuff I've had for like 2 years, and I really want something new, but I don't have the money to pay anybody, so I'm like, I gotta learn how to be artsy again. Okay, let's be artsy again. Live split. I don't even know what that means, so that sounds fancy. Also, I'm sure you've discovered this, Brackenhawk, but I did a pattern at the Able Sisters on stream one time, and I had the texture dump on. As I was like doing the pattern, it was like dumping each iteration of the pattern in the texture dump. So I like went in there. There's like 50 versions of. I did a. Oh, where is it? How do you? There you go. There's the patterns. I did a resetting pattern, and there's like. I was just like, well, need to know to turn that off in the future when I am doing patterns, because I'm just like, this is so much. Ugh. Benefit is, I guess you do have like the finished version of, but you probably have the finished version of it if you just like plop down the pattern somewhere. So yeah, I was just like, okay, all right. So at some point I gotta go. I cleared out like 20 of them, but there's still there's so much. There's so much. So at some point I gotta figure that out, or figure that out. Go through and clear that out. I feel like I should talk to more people. I'm really surprised Tom hasn't like abandoned me yet. It's not like I do a whole lot of meet and greets with my villagers. I need to do more because I don't know the villagers very well in these games. Like, I played a lot of Wild World, and when I played Wild World, I was talking to my villagers all the time. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. So, yeah, it was a lot of pictures. A lot of pictures. But I just don't remember any of the villagers' names. So basically only the ones I have in my town at the moment and the ones in my pocket camp do I remember. I'm like, I should really learn all my villagers' names and everything and their personalities before moving on to the new game. I say moving on like I'm leaving this behind. I'm not, I promise. I'm gonna keep playing this one because I like it, but oh, I'm not eco-friendly at all. Wait, what? Can you only have them in stacks of 5? Oh my god, really? That's so dumb. I guess I know why. It's because of the you have to trade in 5 at a time to do the thing. But that's still dumb. You should be able to be in. Who's your favorite villager? I don't really know a whole lot. Right now, I'm liking Tom a lot. It's kind of because he's my next door neighbor. But I've been on Pocket Camp. There's a lot of them I really like. I like Robin and Bam a lot. Robin, I just love the colors. Like, Robin has some really pretty, like, rich coloring. Like, really complimentary colors and everything. Looks great. Oh, yeah. I got so distracted I didn't even put down the clock in here. Did I just put down the... I just put the thing down again, didn't I? Oh, my goodness. I knew I was... This is why I like pre-recorded content. Because I don't look like such a dummy. Because I distract myself when I talk and then I can't focus on what I'm doing. But there we go. I like how this is just basically a Coca-Cola clock. Like, let's be honest, it's a Coca-Cola clock. Mascot and the villager editor. Wait, you can... I was gonna say, it's like, I was like Googling for that yesterday, but I couldn't find one. I would love that. Yeah, tell me about this villager editor. Tell me about it. Where is this village editor? I have to know. Oh, it's in the Discord? Oh, goodness. That sounds awesome. I would love to do that and everything. I'm seriously going to go, like... do I at least get, like, a visual of it so I can, like, make one and have, like, a picture of it? Even if I don't get to edit it into this version. And eventually we're gonna have E+ available. Oh yeah, I'm seriously going to commission you sometime for your figurines. Oh no. I mean, I imagine. Everybody works so hard and I'm just here like, I stream a lot and I occasionally do a texture here and there. Like, at least, okay, like, you feel bad because you feel like you got to do more textures. It's like, okay, but you're doing all, like, the back end work of, like, organizing and getting it all ready for release and everything. Like, that's a lot of work in and of itself. You don't have anything to feel bad about. I'm sitting here like, I mean, I stream it and that's what I contribute. I got one texture in the game right now, but soon. Like I said, I feel like I mostly got the skyline paper done. I'm gonna have to double check. I'll do the focus dump like you guys were suggesting earlier and make sure I got everything. But it seemed like it was only the one texture file for it. So hopefully. But no, one day I would love a little villager of me. So I'm gonna get money together. What is like what the villagers were like 15 pounds more, something like that. I don't even remember. 10, 15 pounds more. So what? 65, 70 pounds, somewhere around there. I don't even remember. I mean, that's true, but you don't have to feel bad for like, I promise you, nobody is sitting here going, oh, Brackenhawk is just not doing the work. Like, you're also helping all of us. All of us noobs at texture and artsy stuff. So, believe me, you're doing a bunch to help out the cause. And if it weren't for you, like, it wouldn't have been around anyways. So that's a pretty big deal. I want to do more letters. God, skyline paper again. Okay, I already got some of that. No, go away. And I'm too lazy to cheat in stuff, so I'm just getting stuff as I come across. I'm like, oh, there's a new paper. All right, that's the texture we'll dump. Luckily, there's enough of them that are like, I think just 2 have been done so far. So most of the paper is like free to go, free for the taking. As I, of course, as I get off my butt and actually do that. I didn't want to go right back upstairs. It is kind of crazy because you were talking about like, oh, we've almost got like all the overworld stuff and everything done, and then we can just go in and we can just be picking out furniture sets for each, like a person can take a furniture set at a time and everything. I'm like, Oh my god, we've got like all the furniture sets still. There's so much. There's so much. It's not even like boring stuff that bothers me, because I don't mind stuff being boring necessarily. In a way, it's all kind of... boring is not the right word. It's all kind of slow paced for me to work on. It's just that my skill level is the problem. Because it's hard for me to visualize when they're broken up into multiple textures, like multiple files for a certain thing. Like looking at a villager or something, you're just like, what am I looking at here? What is this like little texture here? Where does this go? What am I like redoing? And I can't like visualize it. So then I have a problem like redoing it. So some of it is just hard. It's just hard. So I imagine the furniture is gonna be really crazy because you're gonna be viewing it. And if you like, because I mean, you know, aren't going to be seen by most players. Yeah, but I think they will be seen by, like, I would say they're not going to be seen by one player. Like, one player is not going to see most of them, but because of the randomness of it, a lot of people, with all the people that use it, I think a lot of people will see it. Which, speaking of, I guess mine was one of the train stations that didn't get done yet, but I'm like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna, because I love the brickwork, looks fantastic. I love that. But like the wooden part isn't done yet, but oh well. Yeah, it's like that thing is like, I think like because of the randomness of it and people redoing towns and all that stuff, like everybody's going to see, with everybody looking, with everybody's eyes on it, everybody's going to see it at some point. And I think that's what's really cool about Animal Crossing, because there's so much random stuff that even I didn't. Oh my, well, they do not care for me very much, do they? But there was so many random things that I didn't even know about going in to playing this version. Just realizing, like, I didn't even know there was different train stations. It was something I had never noticed until the one guy was like working on the stations. Oh, yay! Oh, that's exciting. So like things like that, I know, and then like the colors of the leaves change multiple times during even like a season, and so like the train stations are different per town, the grass can be different per town, like there's so much that's like going into this project I had no idea, and it's really exciting to see it because it's almost given me like a bigger appreciation for the work that went into this. I was talking to them earlier about like the fact that like the size of a GameCube game is like 1.3 gigabytes or something like that. Like not a huge file. So the fact that like all this was in like 1.3 gigabytes, I think it's like that. It's something like that. That it's just like you gotta commend them on that. And technically this was all on like what, Nintendo 64 originally, technically in Japan. It got ported over here for GameCube, and I forget how it all goes, but I believe it was originally a Nintendo 64 game. So I think we are going to wait, I didn't actually pay any money on my house. See, I get sidetracked. I gotta pay down that debt. I was gonna try to come up with like a pun on like Tanookies and Tom Nook sending in like, I was gonna say like to crookies or something, I don't know. Yes, actually run on a GameCube without the disc in, yeah, once you like load it up. And I love it. Like again, like the more I play this game, in this version specifically, the more I'm loving it. And I think that says something. And it's really a shame that, like, I wish more people liked these games. I get why some people don't, but it's kind of amazing what these games turn out to be. Because the fact that they are so immersive and you can get involved with, like, your villagers' lives and everything, and it almost feels like it is its own little separate world. Really? A little, like, nice little deets. It's a good game. It's a good game, but we will move on to doing some artsy-fartsy stuff. Just give me a hot second to switch things over here. Let's get music playing first thing. Oh my goodness. That's something that's, like, really special. I'm doing some farts, guys. Stay tuned for some farts. I just love farting. Okay, so I'm not actually gonna be doing any texture work, like, for the project today. I might do some more of that tomorrow, honestly. But I don't need to open up all that. What do I need to do? I need... I just love farting! I did want to... I thought I downloaded it, and apparently I did not. Was there not a file? There's, like... I wanted to download, like, a sample picture so that I had, like, the color palette for the grass. Let me see. I'll just Google it really quick. Animal Crossing grass. Okay, we'll be here for a while, because the process does actually take a while. Man, seeing some of the things that people did in New Leaf, though, with the textures was really cool. They would, like, make... Like, fans would just make, like, a texture that, like, blended in with the grass. And then they'd put, like, a pathway to where they would just put down, like, paths and stuff walking around. I saw somebody that did patterns that looked like the textures from Pokemon. Like the GBA Pokemon games with tall grass and everything. So they were walking around their world and it all looked like Pokemon. And I'm like, that's really neat. Okay, let me see. I want to do the triangle grass. That's, like, my favorite grass. So we'll just drop this picture here. Ah, crap. It's being a butt. It's doing its weird thing where it wants to download it as, like, a weird image file, and it's not gonna work with me. I want to just download as a PNG, Google. Why? Why is that so hard? Okay, that's a JPEG. That's good enough. Okay, let's boot up the old Inkscapes. Your beard is growing. That is how they work. I really need to trim. I need to trim up my beard. I look like a hobo right now. I need to trim up my beard and get myself hair. The problem is, I do all this myself, and it's like work. It's work, guys. I don't want to do it. But I'll eventually get out of my hobo stage, I promise. Because right now this is not like nice looking long beard. It's just scruffy. It's just not. It's too much. I know. I really need to get on it. Okay, so let me go ahead and import that image, and then I will actually switch over where you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna do triangles, but I'm gonna use this image of like the circle one, so that it don't have a face cam and look like a hobo every day like me. Well, you know, that the one thing about streaming was I was afraid of having a webcam at first because I didn't want it to be. I wanted it to be about my voice and the content I make. I didn't want it to be about my looks either way. Like, I'm sure some people find me attractive. Some people find me repulsive, and I didn't want it to be. I didn't want my looks to be what my stream was about. But enough people wanted me to have a webcam, which is understandable. YouTube is very impersonal in a way. Like, while you can like laugh and enjoy the jokes and everything from Let's Players and whatnot, you're not directly communicating with them at the time, so it's very impersonal, and you can kind of get away with not having a webcam. I feel like on Twitch, you have to have some sort of webcam because people want to see who they're talking to, and I'm the same way. So, yeah, it helps people connect. And that's the benefit of like your crafty streams, is like you don't necessarily have to. Now, me personally, I'm so like, what does Brackenhawk look like? What does Brackenhawk look like? Like, it's just like in the background. So I totally get it. That's why you never watch my stream, you poop. No, it's not it at all. I know what you look like now because you sent me a picture, so I know what you look like. But like, just usually that you stream in like inconvenient times for me to watch. My day consists of. I'll go ahead and get this going. Sorry. My day usually consists of. Maybe. There we go. My day usually consists of this, and then trying to get the house clean. And like I'm such a stay-at-home mom. So the moment I get done with work, I am like clean. I'm doing dishes. I'm taking care of the dog. The kid's been home for 6 days in a row because of snow days and holidays. So watching the kid, when the boyfriend's home, then I'm trying to spend time with the boyfriend, and it's just like, it's not that at all. That's not what I said at all. You guys are so mean to me. You guys are abusive. I want to watch more streams. There's so many streams I want to watch, including your guys's. But it is hard to do. I even was like, yesterday I managed to tune into Brackenhawks for like a little bit. And it was because I was like just wrapping up the stream. But even then I was like, I gotta go. But it happened to be like conveniently, it was right as Brackenhawk was like, I gotta go. I've been streaming for 7 hours. I'm like, oh god, that's so much. That's so much streaming. No, it's because I'm a busy boy. Okay, so let's show you guys some like repeated pattern stuff. First of all, we got to go into document properties and kind of get everything set up how we want it to be set up. Want something that makes it a little bit easier for me. You don't necessarily have to do this, but it makes it easier for me. So I showed you guys the grid the other day, like the guides and everything. For this, it kind of makes it easier for me to set it up. They're set at like every pixel. It kind of helps for me to have like the bigger, not 40, there, 10. Every 10 pixels is the spacing for the gridding there. So I set that up in the document properties. And you want to make sure somebody else, this was something I heard from the other tutorial, so I don't actually understand the reasoning behind it, but something has to go into the actual preferences for Inkscape and make sure it's set to geometric bounding box as opposed to visual bounding box. I Google that. I don't really know why that's the case, but that's how they wanted us to do it. So what we're gonna do today again is kind of recreate this, but with the triangle pattern. So first of all, you have to be very precise with something like this. You want it to be a consistent shape. So we're gonna do, it should already be like snapping to these corners here, which is good. You want it to. I'm gonna hold down control while I do this to make sure it like becomes like an even shape and get it to a perfect square. We're gonna go 3 by 3, I think. That ends up being 150. I don't want 150. Why am I at 150? Oh well, we'll go 150. That's fine. That's fine. So it's a 3 by 3 size. It's not that bad. It was like a weird, because like because I don't even fully understand the bounding box sort of idea. I know the geometric one has to goes off of the nodes, which I showed you guys the nodes yesterday. But I don't understand how that like mechanically differs from normal. So again, this is a weird sort of like Nate teaches you how to do a thing that he learned how to do yesterday and doesn't actually know what he's doing, but I can kind of half-ass do it. So just bear with me. So we made a little box. That is going to be our starting box. Cool. Seems kind of weird, but we are going to go ahead and group it. If you hit Control G, it will group it, or I think you can also right click and just hit group, and that made a group out of it. It says down here on the little status, which you can't see. Crap, I gotta move myself. This is not gonna work with me being over here. Because that you're gonna have to check the little status bar regularly. Just move my shelf over here. It says group 1 object in layer 1, group of 1 object, so it should be a group. Even though it's just 1 object, it needs to be in a group because that group is what's going to change every other one, because we're going to start with a repeating pattern. So to do that, we got to go to Edit, Clone, make sure you're on the group, you've got the group highlighted, Create Tiled Clones. Okay, well, I'm reading it off to you anyways, I'm sorry. I can't help it. It's because of the resolution of my screen is like I have like a 1440 screen, 1440p screen, and I'm like outputting it at 720. So, so we're gonna create tile clones. If you've done this before, you probably should just hit reset or something to make sure everything's like back to defaults. But what we're gonna do is create we're gonna set it by rows and columns, and we're gonna do 3 by 3. Which is a total of 9 squares, and we're going to hit create. And so that's good. That's all that. We can close out of that. We're going to make sure it says clone of group of 1 object in layer 1. We don't want the clone. If you hit Shift D, it even says like use Shift D to look up original. If it says that, make sure you do that, because you want the original. So it should be the group of 1. There we go. Now I can move this wherever. Leave the others where they are, but I can move this wherever. And then, not a 9 by 9, like a 9 square total. Sorry, just verbiage. My verbiage was bad there. It should be a 3 by 3, which is a total of 9 squares. So we can actually hide the graph temporarily. And we are gonna start adding in some shapes. And I'm gonna do these just by hand. I could use like the triangle shape, but then they're all gonna be what is it, equilateral triangles. where all the sides are even, and I don't necessarily want all the sides to be like even. I know geometry, guys. Totally. So we're gonna do like that there. Oh god, I've forgotten a step. Why have I forgotten a step? Oh, I know what I did. Okay, so it's fine. Don't worry. Don't panic. Don't panic. I was like, why isn't it updated? What have I missed? What have I forgotten? I somehow got the clone again. I didn't want the clone. Why do I have the clone? That's the clone. That is the original one. Okay. We'll just move the clone back there. That's fine. Intergroup. Okay, right click it. When you have the original, hit intergroup. There we go. Now anything we add, that's why we grouped it in the first place. It will edit onto here, onto all of these tiles. So, again, we'll try this again. We'll do this shape here. Bam, it's on all those tiles. So what this is going to do, we are going to hide the, if we hit shift and click on the X here in the lower, again, you can't see it, but lower left-hand corner on the color palette, it gets rid of the outline. So if you click on a color without pressing shift, it changes the color of the fill. If you hold shift, it changes the color of the outline. And I just wanted to hide the outline altogether, so I just hit shift and the X. But I do want to change the color of the fill, and I'm going to steal from these, so I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. And it's going to be this color. That color. There we go. So the fill is like that. I may do some tweaking with the coloring because this palette it looks a little bit off, but at least I got somewhere to start with. So a good idea, because what we'll do is I'll show you this. If you guys move this down here, where it's kind of off on the corner. Oh, I guess it's already kind of opaque, isn't it? Oh, it totally is. Okay. Well, okay. So by default, it should be. My bad. Or transparent. It should be opaque by default, so it should just be getting covered up by the other ones as it's coming off the edge. So you just what you do is you click on the square, and down at the opacity you can change it to 50%. That way you can actually see it transparently through. This is only the square. I'll be honest. The square right now is only just a placeholder, so you can kind of put all these things into a group and kind of see where it goes. We're gonna get rid of that square later, once we get all the pieces down for the pattern. So just bear with me. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna have like a couple different. Again, still working in the group. We're gonna have a couple different triangles and stuff. We'll just draw some more in. Hold on. Let me turn off the snapping there. We can totally zoom in right now too, it doesn't matter. Zooming in to get this part done is fine. I was just kind of zoomed out to show you guys what it was doing. Throw me a circle. Well, I'm doing something. If you get the triangle grass, it's all triangle-y. Like, you can do other stuff with it, but for me personally, I'm doing a pattern kind of like the Animal Crossing grass. This is going to get like a little bit complicated later, unfortunately. So, so first of all, let me grab all of these here. I'm holding down Shift while clicking to select all of them. And again, Shift X to hide that, and then get over here with the eyedropper to grab a different color. What we're going to do is, so you've got kind of like something in the center here. You can kind of see how that's working. I will work on changing the colors and everything in a bit. I'm going to duplicate this. So we have one kind of in the center there, and then another version of it down here, overlapping here. So you can kind of see it's kind of messy. So because this is going to come in, this piece right here, you can kind of see is overlapping with what's coming down here. Basically, you want to look at the I'm pointing at stuff. Sorry, this piece right here is overlapping. You want to look at the center of this. The center piece of this area is what is kind of generating what's going to be the repeating pattern. These other edges, this outer edge over here is not accurate because you're not having the stuff coming in on it. It's just here is going to be the most accurate piece of the pattern. Playing piano. I'm just gonna play piano while watching. Go for it. Go for it. No, it isn't. Not all of it is. Depending on the village, you get some of it squares, some of it circles, some of it's triangles. Just like the snow is sometimes stars, sometimes circles. Like not all Animal Crossing grass is created equal, and I prefer the triangle grass. So this is actually coming down and cutting into here, so we'll just move this piece out of the way. We'll move it down some to where it kind of does that. So you can kind of see how this is overlapping, and you can already kind of see the repeating pattern coming in, and you can just kind of start filling in places now. I've probably made enough different shapes. I'm just going to kind of duplicate some. I'm going to put some down here and rotate, have a little bit of variance. Oops. Don't change the center of that. That's how it's blending. You want it kind of going over some of these spaces because those are the spots that are going to look convincing, because those are the cutoffs. If you do it just all inside one box, it's not going to blend nearly as well. You'll kind of be able to see a very clear line of where you were trying to fit it in within the borders. Whereas what I'm doing right now with the clone tiles is I'm having overlap happen on the clone tiles. So we're just kind of filling in the gaps for a bit, putting other triangles in where it can look deliberate. But if we do overlapping, we want, if you just cut off shapes and make a connection to the opposite. That sounds, essentially that's what I'm doing. This is just like this is kind of an easy way to visualize it, and then I'm going to cut off the shapes. But I'm just adding this all together because if you do it the way you're suggesting, I would have to... it'd be a lot harder to guarantee that the shapes would match up perfectly. I would have to be going back and lining them up and making sure that that they are matching up perfectly. Whereas this, I'm creating a pattern that definitely will be, when we get the final piece of it, it'll be cut off and can just be lined up piece by piece. And it will be super consistent. And that gives us a lot more freedom with the patterns we can make as well. I'm doing something very simple, like doing just basic triangles and stuff is a really easy way to make the grass pattern, or make a pattern. But if you're doing more complex stuff, this is kind of the way you want to do it, because then recreating on the opposite side and everything, it can get very... No, I'm being more accurate. I'm not being lazy, I'm being more accurate. because that way is very inconsistent, because there's stuff that's going to slip through the cracks. I can almost guarantee it. So, with that being said, let's start having some of this stuff poke over this edge as well. Oh, you gotta be careful. And you kind of have to keep looking over and making sure like you're filling in gaps. You don't want to have like open areas. If you do it right, but it is not an efficient way, an efficient, reliable way to do it. Like there's other ways you can do things multiple ways, and even like the end of this, the end process of this, there's multiple ways to do it as well. But if you want to do it in an efficient, effective way, this is probably one of the better ways to do it with Inkscape. So, like, yeah, you can razz me all day about, like, oh, you're just being lazy, but I'm just showing you guys this is a good way to make a pattern that is repeatable and blended. Oh, I do have something. What is that crossing over there? What am I looking at? Oh, is it this piece right here? That's exactly what that piece is. Okay. Whoops. I already had something there. See, that's why you gotta keep an eye, because then you're gonna end up doing silly goofs like that. I do need to start filling in some more gaps up here. You just gotta be careful that it all fits. Because again, we're only looking at the center square of this, which is kind of hard to visualize right now. That's why we're very specific of where we are, with the sizing and everything, because we want to keep it within the grid. That way when we go back to place some more squares to get to see where we were at, we know exactly where it will be. Because especially when you do the complicated patterns, like the grass is already complicated enough. With more complicated patterns, it's going to get even more hectic. So, so that's, I don't know what that piece is there. Is that this piece? Totally is. So like right below it, I could fit something probably. That's looking pretty good. I'm gonna actually make this piece a bit bigger to fill in that gap more. Have more variance in size as well. I think that piece is cutting into here, so there we go. That's not a bad grass pattern. Super Mario 64. How does Nate feel about Super Mario 64? I mean, I like Super Mario 64 a lot. My friend actually streamed that the other night. He couldn't get it working right, but he was trying to stream it with chat interaction. I guess there's like a version of it. Yeah, I like Inkscape a lot. Usually I use Inkscape for my digital stuff, but there are other programs like... I like Inkscape because it is working with vectors. But there's also there's a vector software, I talked about this yesterday. Check out Made with Mischief sometime. If you like the feel of drawing on like pen and paper or something like that, drawing with physical drawing stuff, but you love the features of vector artwork, Mischief is great because it kind of works like you're just drawing on a tablet. You just like pick a pen, you can even adjust the pens and everything like in Photoshop or something, and just draw and everything, but it draws as vectors. So it's great if you have like a tablet like this. I don't know why I even have a tablet. I'm really not that artistic, but I wanted to get into it. So, Dire Docs right now. Oh, for speedrunning. But I still use this for more precision-based stuff. Like Mischief is great for if you want to like learn how to draw better, and you have the ability to just be like, that line did not look good, and just undo it instead of having to erase or something. I like that for teaching for like learning how to draw, and teaching yourself how to draw, but definitely not for playing piano. Oh, that's right. You're playing the song Dire Docs. I got you. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying now. I'm still just trying to fill in the gaps here. I'm gonna re-enter the group here. Scoot this in just a touch. Okay, now I'm gonna actually change some of the colors here for more variance. Did I already do that? I think that's what they already are. Let me see. Let's get some of these blues in here. Actually, I'll just select multiple and then change all those to that. No, not that. We'll have a little bit more spread out. Like that. Change those to blues. And we'll get another couple yellow ones sprinkled in here. For a bit more variance to the pattern. And then if we did, hold on. We'll change that opacity temporarily just to show you kind of what it'll look like. And change that actual color to this color. Oh, well, again, it's... I didn't want to change... I forgot about the opacity issue. Okay, we'll change it to like... You kind of get the idea. It's going to overlap. It'll look good in the end. Trust me. That's why the base square is not meant to be the actual thing. So you can kind of see how it's all going to overlap, and it's all going to look good in the end. Uh-oh. Somehow this was off center, so that's potentially problematic, but that's fine. It'll be fine in the end. I think I can just scoot this back. Oh, we'll just turn on the bounding box again. There we go. That's fine. We're fine. We're good. There's very dramatic music happening. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. We got it all lined up again like we're supposed to. Good. I'm gonna delete this square. We're about halfway through. So we've got a definitively like blended pattern. It's looking good. Now we want to get this kind of ready for export. There's a couple of ways you want to do this. If you want a bitmap image, which is like a raster, so not a vector file. Again, vector files are mathematical formulas that the computer just kind of translates into images, so they're infinitely scalable. That's where it gets harder, but we're going to start with just showing you how to make the a raster image, just something you can output as a JPEG, and then you can just instead of being able to resize it, you can at least just put it side by side and have it a pattern. Makes it a good, an easy enough way to sell if you're selling textures online for something. You can sell PNGs of a pattern and just be like, this is the size of it, but at least it is infinitely cut and paste 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 and paste. Whereas you could if you want to sell as a vector, again, it's gonna be a little bit more work. So first of all, we're gonna actually grab all this and we are going to go to edit clone and unlink clone, because we don't want it to be affected by this anymore. We're ready to just it's ready to be, we're not cloning anymore. We've got it kind of all laid out how we want it laid out. We can edit things in the center tile as we want to. We can edit the pattern however much we want to anyways, but at least this did the basic layout of the pattern where we can kind of see how it all blends together. So now we're gonna zoom in just a touch. We should have, we're gonna make an extra layer. I'm gonna show you again. We're gonna call that export mask. We're gonna make an added layer, and on that layer we are going to make a square that is going to be the size of the original. Oh, I was on the wrong, there we go. Make sure you're on the right layer, guys. And apparently it is like invisible. We're gonna make it red. Why is this invisible? It's fine. We're figuring it out. I don't know why this is like... There we go. That was weird. The actual color was invisible for something. But no, I actually love the Dire Docs theme. I heard something... Oh, I heard Dire Docs. There's a couple YouTubers that play melodica. They're called like the Melodica Men or something like that. I don't remember. These two dudes that play melodica on YouTube, and they played a Mario medley, and one of the songs they played in it was Dire Docs, and Dire Docs on melodica just sounds like an Animal Crossing song. Like, I'm pretty sure that made me realize, I'm like, wow, I think a lot of Animal Crossing songs are actually played on melodica, but it's so chill. And yeah, just look it up sometime. Okay, so now that we actually have that showing up, now we do want that at like 50%, just so we can kind of see where it's at. It should be at the same size of the original square. There shouldn't be any decimals or anything. It's 200 by 200. Is that accurate? I don't think that's accurate. I think that's too big. I think it was 150. Oh, it's a 3 by 3. That's right. See, this is why we check. Yeah, 150 by 150. That's the size of the square that we want. Now just figuring out where... You gotta kind of look at your pattern. This is where it gets difficult, guys. You gotta look at your pattern and figure out what is overlapping and what is where it's supposed to be. So, okay. This is supposed to just cross over the threshold here, so like here? That doesn't seem right. Maybe it is. I guess it is. That's where we want to capture the pattern. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Ha. Okay, so it's actually really easy to do this. If you wanted to go to back to layer 1, we're gonna leave the export mask right there. You pick whatever color you want as the background. Really easy. You do that, make sure it is fully opaque. You make sure it's in the background, and then you take whatever color you want. As long as it covers more than the what you're exporting, which is this box, which actually, hold on. I made a boo-boo. I forgot this box actually is like slightly... shouldn't have any stroke. There we go. Now it is exactly 150 by 150. Okay, so as long as it's covering more than what you are exporting, then it's fine, because you just want that to be the background of the image. Now you're going to take the export mask. You're going to, hold on, unhook that there. You're highlighting it. We're going to hide it. We're going to hide it, but you see it's like selecting it still, even though it's not visible. That's what's selected. When you go to export, you just export by selection, which is that. Make sure that it is the full size, because mine keeps like defaulting down to 90 DPI. Just make sure it's exporting the full 150 by 150. Otherwise, it's exporting the full image, but it's at like, it's downsizing it. It's like exporting at a smaller size. So just make sure it's exporting at 150 by 150 if that's the size you started at. The starting square you made was 150 by 150. And then you can literally just export it. I'm not going to do too much work with it, but it should just be grass, PNG. Actually, we'll say animal grass. Animal grass. That's just to kind of show you. Now it's going to have exported everything visible within this rectangle, which was that. And I promise you that pattern, you can copy and paste it and copy and paste it. But the problem is it is a raster image. It is going to be blurry. It's not going to be a perfect, infinitely resizable thing. It's going to be at that size of 150 pixels by 150 pixels. So if you are working on your own project and you already know what size you need it, as long as you export it at, hold on, don't care for that song. If you know the size of the project of the art you're needing, just export it at that size in the first place, and then it's not going to be a problem. Because I could blow this whole thing up as much as I wanted and do the same thing. Same process, just blow it up, the whole image, and then export however I need to do that. But if you're wanting to make a vector file out of it, a vector pattern out of it where it is infinitely resizable, it is a little bit harder. Now, that's where it gets interesting. So let me show you how to do that. We are going to go back to layers. We're going to lock the export mask temporarily, so we're not going to mess with that for a little bit. We're going to get rid of the background for now. Actually, so I'm not going to click on that, but at least it shows me where I'm working with. I'm going to actually put that layer behind it so we can clearly see where the cutoff is. What we need to do for this is a little bit more complicated. We got to clear out all this excess stuff that is not... Hold on. Let's ungroup everything. If you do Control-Shift-G, it ungroups everything. That way these are all individual pieces. That's what we got to do first. Which again, hold on, let me get rid of that grid so you can clearly see. They're all individual pieces. Yay. All we are wanting to keep is the ones that are actually overlapping. So everything else that is not directly overlapping over that box, we can delete. Which, take your time with that. You don't want to accidentally delete something. I mean, you could always put it back in. Was that? No, it was fine. That was fine. Especially around the edges, you want to be careful. So, because all you need, again, is the stuff that is part of the pattern, which is all right here. Which actually I can kind of, this is what I said, I can actually kind of edit. Now looking at just the pattern, I can actually kind of, I can put extra things in. I don't want to move, because if I move this, this will not move with it anymore. It's not cloned anymore. Bomb on Battlefield, that, I mean, that's a classic. I know the Bomb on Battlefield theme, not on piano, but But anything that is not overlapping, you can freely change at this point. I can move stuff around here. This, I can move. Make it a little bigger. Well, if I turn off the snapping. Make that a little bit bigger. Because the only things that are going to mess up, again, the overlap is what can get messed up and everything. So now that we've done that, now is a bit of a process. There's a couple different ways to go about doing this, but you're going to have to cut off, like you said, you're going to have to cut off all the pieces that are overlapping. And that's where there's a few ways to do this. You can either put a square over all this, which is where you see the bounding box. I could do another one of that, which actually I need to do anyways, just for this process. Come on. What's happening right now? Come on. No, stop that. Click on this. There we go. Bring the grid back up. You gotta make a box on top of all this, which it doesn't matter what it looks like. It's just to use as it's a cutting tool, essentially. And I will move it beneath it here. So it's underneath all these objects, so you can clearly see what you're doing. You can either make a clip out of it, which instantly cuts off all the edges, but it kind of, with Inkscape, this is kind of where Inkscape is buggy. It should cleanly cut off all the edges and just have whatever's inside of this. But Inkscape doesn't like to work like that properly. Again, it's kind of open source, it's in development. There's issues with that. So that's a bit of a tougher, even though it's easier initially to just clip it and say, hey, whatever's inside this box is good. They're still actually pushing out, and so the actual box of the square is going to be bigger than the actual square, if that makes any sense. Actually, I guess I could just show you guys. So we will select all that and say layer. Actually, I think this has to be on top for that. Hold on. We'll move that up. Select everything. Edits, right? Something like that. Maybe it is layer. Object. There we go. Object, clip, and set. There. So everything that was in that square is now there, and everything else is cut off. But again, if you look at it, these are still going off the edge. They're invisible, but they're still going off the edge. So if you have that as a group, it's going to be sticking out like that, and you can't freely line that up how you want to. It makes it a lot more difficult. So while it's easier initially to do that, it's not really the way I would go about doing it, but it is an option if you want to do that. I just don't. Now what the heck? Okay, just go behind those. I don't know how that managed to go behind, like, out of the layer, but okay. Anyways, so what we're gonna do instead is a bit of a pain. We are going to individually actually change the shape of these objects, which means we're gonna actually need a bunch of these. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 different squares, because they do disappear as you do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can do more as we go. At least we have like a separate, so as this one deletes, we can kind of go off of that. So we have to select this, and then select this, and go into object, or path, and then intersection should be correct. Yes, okay. So that was actually cut. It is not sticking out, cool. But you can't do that for more than one object at a time, so then you move another one into place. Make sure this is behind that. We're actually gonna hide export mask. Path. Intersection. Cool. Cut that one off too. You need help. Do you ever feel not entertained even when you're entertained? You've been doing grass for too long. It's not good for you. Look, but guys, I'm telling you, this is a helpful skill. This is a useful skill I'm actually teaching you guys today. I'm pretty excited about it. Because when we get done with this, we're going to go back to the clone tiles. Because once we're done with this, it's ready to be duplicated as much as we want to have it duplicated. But you just gotta bear with me. Actually, no. I want that export mask there again because I can clearly see where I'm putting this. Any sort of like graphical, any sort of art, guys, takes, I mean, it takes a bit. It's a process, but it pays off when it's done because then you're gonna feel really cool. Intersection. Okay, yeah, that doesn't cross over, but this one does. Just gotta be careful. I think you have to have this beneath because I think it's whatever's on top is what stays. I believe. It's a bad habit. Look, doing grass patterns is different from doing grass the drug. So, diplomatic immunity. I could be having this wrong, in which case I might have to change the colors back, but it's not, no, I don't want to do that. It's not the end of the world if I... Yeah, these are all looking green. I may be doing this in reverse. I may have to have that on top there. Let me try that. Let me... Hold on. Yeah, because some of these are definitely different colors. So maybe it's the one beneath that it retains its color. I forget sometimes. There we go. That maintained its color. So this doesn't need to be on top of everything. Path. Intersection. Path. It is not... Again, it seems kind of like off, but it's not like a main... There's other tools that do patterns and stuff. There's actually a pattern tool within Inkscape, but there's issues with clipping, again, with like bugs and stuff with that. So this is kind of... It is like a little bit longer form, but this is how you do make it like an infinitely reusable pattern. And then you could sell this file. You could sell the scalable vector graphic or the SVG file if you are making textures that you're selling in a storefront or something for people making video games or something. Like, I need a ground texture. Well, you could sell this and be like, here's a ground texture. Obviously not this one. It's kind of a ripoff of Animal Crossing, but this is like the process to make something reusable outside of here. Once you... I guess there is a shortcut key to this as well. I should look into that. What was that button? Control plus star? Ugh. I don't know about that. Hotkeys are great, guys. It'd be like Control Shift Star. There we go. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. That Control Shift Star. Nope. Oh, I only clicked on the one thing. Control Shift Star. Control Shift Star. We're getting there. We're almost done. For those of you wondering, I am just like duplicating those every time. That way I'm like, oh, I'm not having to grab new ones. It's just right there where it's easily reachable. So let's just star. One more side after, well, I guess this, and then one more side. Oops, I didn't actually duplicate that last one. Dummy. You dummy. It doesn't matter what order you select these in, as long as the one on top is the square. This sounds like Matrix, like ambient Matrix. I did it again. Gosh dang it. Come on, Nate. Let's have some backups here. Sounds like something that's like going on in like the Matrix soundtrack. Okay, so now I can hide, well, we'll just move this here. Move it below. Hide the export mask again, because we don't need that layer. So this is what our file ends up being like. If you wanted something, what, Akeno, did you get it? Did you figure it out? So we could have this without a background. You don't need a background for a pattern. For what we're doing, we want a background. But you don't need it. Spoilers. This should just be exact. Yeah, no decimals. It should be 150. If you look up at the top, 150 by 150. That is excellent. There shouldn't be any decimals because it should be cut off exactly. So we zoom out the gain. We move all of this other shiz out of the way because we don't need it no more. We've now made a repeating pattern. If you look here, duplicate it. It's not like exact there. I didn't put it exactly there, but yeah, it lines up. And same way with these. We duplicate that and pull it down here, and it again lines up there. Super cool that actually worked. Holy crap, I did something right, guys. But if you want to do this fast, if you want to just actually, we'll just undo that and scoot it back to where it was supposed to be. We are going to move it not with the grid. Move it in the upper right hand corner. Align and distribute. We'll just move it. Okay, set by page. Move it all the way to the left. Move it all the way to the top. Bam, it is perfectly aligned. Then you click on this again. I didn't cheat. I didn't do nothing. I actually did. Also, hi DIY Crossling. Thank you, Brackenhawk, for hanging out and watching. So now we can go back to do our old trick, the clone, which we can save. I'm gonna literally save this because I worked hard on that. Y'all saw it. I did it. We're gonna clone, create tiled clones. Width and height. We're gonna go this by default. I've actually set my Inkscape default to be 1920 by 1080. So I know that if I go 1920 by 1080, gosh, I hope this works right and doesn't make a fool of me. Bam. So it automatically spread that out across that. There is, I believe, a little bit of I believe there's like a way to actually fix that where it doesn't have the slight break in between it, because some of it doesn't. It's like it's so slight that you can't really tell always. Certain zooms you can, certain zooms you can't. But that just spread it across the whole canvas. So if you know this, like the size of the canvas you need to spread out that texture, there you go. You got it. You got it done. A repeating blended texture pattern, which again kind of resembles the Animal Crossing grass. I'm noticing some things with the pattern that I'm like, that's not my favorite thing. But I can change some colors if I wanted to, because these are cloned again. So as long as I clone the overlapping pieces as well, like this piece right here. This is a clone, so I don't want this one. I want to go, let me put that beneath the original. Okay. This right here, I should be able to change to like, it's too much of that. Let's get more of this Let's get more of the blue in here. Just change it to that. Okay. There, that adds a little bit more variance. And that one I didn't have to change because that one doesn't stick out or across there. We will make... I think this one I want to make yellow. And then this one... Oops. We will make blue. You can kind of tweak the colors around. Now again, if I had done this one, there's two sides of it. I would have had to have done like, I would have had to have done this piece and this piece because that's how they would fit together. So that's important to note. After you've done the original clones, if you're doing any tweaking, you got to do that. But aside from that, all the empty water bottles on my floor are starting to bug me. Gosh, I am pretty bad about that too, honestly. Not anymore. In fact, actually, I'm the clean one. I think it's because I'm the one that always cleans the house now. So I'm the clean person because it's less work for me later. Whereas with my boyfriend, it's like we get these, you know, the steamable veggies. They're like, you can get them at like Walmart and stuff. There are like these steamable veggie bags that you can just toss in the microwave, put it on in there for 6 minutes, bam, you got some steamed veggies. He loves the Brussels sprouts. He gets like steamed, seasoned Brussels sprouts and eats the heck out of them. But he just gets those, opens up the bag, eats it out of the bag, and then just leaves the bag wherever he's sitting. So I will like, after, again, this is why I don't have time to stream, guys. Because I wander around the house after getting all this done and go, how many Brussels sprouts did he eat last night? They are, I mean, they are delicious, but it's just like, there's a bag there, there's a bag there, and he's just so, there's so much trash around the house where I'm just like, ah! So, man, I feel good about that, though. I feel really, really good about getting that done. I'm gonna take, I should do something else, like it's early. I'm early, I didn't expect to get that done quite so fast. That was about an hour-long process to do that. Some of that I probably could have done a little bit faster. A lot of it was because I was doing this whole step-by-step thing, but yeah, guys, that's how you can do it. Does he also leave socks around? He leaves socks around, he leaves clothes around, and then, like, okay, I will admit, I have, like, because he does, before, like, laundry day, before I moved in with him, laundry day was always a very specific day, so I always knew, like, when I wanted to get my clothes, where I wanted to get them to do laundry. He does all the laundry now. That's fine. But he does laundry sporadically. He's gonna hate me. He's gonna, like, listen to this and be like, stop bitching about me. He does laundry sporadically, so I never know when he wants my laundry, but I don't want to, like, throw away dirty clothes and like to have them like ready to be cleaned if potentially I have to rewear them because maybe he didn't do laundry when I need him to do laundry or something. So I have like a pile of dirty clothes right beside the bed, but it is a pile and it's on my side of the bed, hidden from the view of the door. Like anybody going in the room won't see my pile of dirty clothes. That sick bastard. I love Brussels sprouts too, I really do. Play Zeld. Which Zeld? Which Zeld? I don't want to play Majora's Mask. I had a lot of people coming in and like being mean to me, and I already was like having enough trouble with it, and then people were just like attacking me, and I'm like, I don't like this. But meanwhile, he doesn't have a pile. He just has like a layer of clothes across the floor. So it's like every other day I go in, I'm like, let me just pick all these clothes up and toss them in the laundry over here. And then he's like, look at how clean the room is. I was like, I know. And then he's like, my side's clean, your side never is. I'm like, I cleaned it, you jerk. Okay, so we'll switch over to something. I would have bit all of them. I appreciate it. I actually love my boyfriend very much. We get along just fine. He's just a messy boy. It's mainly because he works all the time, which I was the same way at my last house before I moved out with him. It was harder for me. I'm saving this and then I'll switch over to something. Maybe Farm Together or something. I haven't played Farm Together in a while. That's a nice chill game. Grass pattern. Which again, we also had that one saved of the PNG of it, which is a raster image, but it still is just like copy paste the tile, copy paste the tile. Twitch live counseling. Ooh. No, I don't. But that's the thing. It's like I do a lot of bitching about my boyfriend out of love. I don't want you guys to think for a minute that we're not good. Like we had rough times early on, and as time has passed with our relationship, things have gotten better and better and better and better. So we have. I mean, we have days like any couple do, but I'm very happy with him. We were curled up in bed last night, and I had my arm around him and had my head on his shoulder, just curling up with him, and fell asleep. It was just like, oh, I love this man. It was so good. So really very happy. So don't even think for a minute. I don't. On the fence, it's the downside is I don't think it is crossplay. But I want to get it at some point because I do really love Farm Together. I think I'm going to play some Farm Together. I think so. Just because I haven't really played it in a while. And that should at least fill the time for the rest of the stream. Because I didn't really plan anything past that today. So I'm kind of a bad streamer. But oh, I can scoot myself back over to. What are we playing? Sell the game to you. Yes, I will. I'll definitely show it to you. Unfortunately for these poor souls, they've already heard me rant about how good this game is. I will say it is one of those things. It's kind of like Animal Crossing, where it is potentially. I feel like Animal Crossing keeps your attention a little bit better than Farm Together, but Farm Together is like Animal Crossing in the sense that it's a very chill. Oh, I need to change that in what I'm. I did change what I'm playing. Cool. I'm just spacing out. What gender I am? I still have no idea. I have no idea what gender half the people are that are in my stream. I keep saying guy because I think we talked about it before about you just being effeminate. But I think you're a guy. I don't know. I don't judge. I don't I would say I don't care, but that sounds hurtful. I mean, it doesn't affect my opinion of you either way. I know, and I just miss it all. I don't care what gender, race, sexual orientation. Oh man, those glasses, they're so me. They're so me. So, the big thing about this game is once you buy it, it's free. There's not... You can just get, a pencil in my ear. Sticking through my beanie, that's fine. That's totally fine. All the cosmetics and stuff are absolutely free. So you don't have to worry about that. You just unlock them as you kind of progress in the game. Which is really just awesome. This does have... Which is interesting because you don't really have that with Animal Crossing. You kind of make your own objectives. And this is kind of like that in that sense. I will kind of show you what I do in mine. So I really should just start a new farm and show you guys that way, but it's fine. The idea is give you a rundown. There are several different types of crops. We'll go through those after a while here. But we'll start with trees. Trees are pretty easy to understand. These trees, when they're harvestable, these are harvestable 3 of the 4 months of the year. 3 of the 4 seasons of the year. Seasons play out every 17 minutes. So all the stuff is done in real time, but the seasons take 17 minutes to change through. So currently it is fall. So winter, spring, and summer, plums are harvestable. I take those plums, I harvest them and get money just by harvesting them initially, but I also get the plums. Then I take the plums and any other fruit over to here, which actually I apparently have enough. And I can turn this into jam, but I also get diamonds. So I get the basic gold coins initially from harvesting, but then I turn it into jam and get jam and diamonds. Then when I get enough jam, I can sell the jam at the jam stall to get ribbons. So it kind of all the products, most of the crops and stuff kind of work that way. There's like different stalls and stuff you can kind of do with that. Like you can get milk from cows, which gives you money, but then you can turn the milk into cheese, which gives you diamonds. But then you can sell the cheese at a cheese stand, which gives you ribbons again. And all these different currencies give you and this is like a seasonal thing, which I think is already done, but I just didn't really I didn't really do it. No one cares. Look, DIY Crossing cares. I keep switching between saying DIY Crossing and Brackenhawk, but it's Brackenhawk, guys. Brackenhawk cares. They asked. It's... Which I can kind of understand that. The benefit is there's never any... There's just no microtransactions. It all builds off of it, and you can't really have, like, setbacks. It is very cookie clicker-ish. But it has the freedom to like lay out the farm exactly like however you want to lay it out. You can get really creative with it. You can plant whatever you want to plant whatever trees, have whatever animals. Like I've got like a like I got my little like flower garden over here with little lanterns, little paper lanterns sitting in the water in the center. I got all my cows. I kind of have like a little bit of a layout. It does have a map. If you hit the M button, you can't really zoom in on it, but it actually shows what these darker gray areas are, where you've actually placed stuff down. 50 million cows. The darker gray areas are where you've actually placed stuff down, and if you have a specific thing placed down there, it'll show like this shows whatever fruit that is. I don't remember what that fruit is. I got bunnies here, I got different types of cows here, and I believe the X's are actually a new addition. The X's just show, I think, that it's harvestable, so that's actually pretty good. So there should be like milk. The funny thing about the cows is they literally are, they easily enough leave it in ready to sell bottles of milk. So my cows are well trained. You can do everything by hand, like on foot, but it's only one tile at a time. But if you use your tractor, you can get up to 9, like a 3x3 area at once. But that costs fuel, and fuel can be refilled for free at gas stations and gas pumps, but you have to buy the gas stations and gas pumps with ribbons. So ribbons are kind of hard to come by, at least initially. I'm just tossing food down for literally, as long as all the tiles are connected for these, you can place the food wherever and it just goes towards the pool of food for all the cows and everything. And it'll just, you'll see like the pile visually somewhere, but my cows cost a lot of money. There's a lot of cows. I have like a pasture of cows here. Okay, fed them. Here's some Surrey alpacas. As you level up individual things, by harvesting things like cow milk or whatnot, you level them up. Oh yeah, here's a gas station. So that'll fill up my fuel tank for my taxi, or not my taxi, my tractor. These take time. It's free to refuel, but they have to refuel themselves, which takes time to regenerate. There's always something to be doing. Some of the crops take a long time to harvest. Other crops are very fast, so there's always something to do. It doesn't feel like Animal Crossing. Sometimes you just have to leave it because Animal Crossing Mobile, the Pocket Camp one, you set something to be crafted and it's like, well, that takes 8 hours, so but while you've got longer crops growing, you can be doing other stuff like, oh, okay, well, it's a new season now, so I'll harvest all these plum trees or something. You can always kind of keep yourself busy with the game, and it's so relaxing and fun. This game actually has really good music too. The reason I don't have the music on in the game and just have the background music playing is because I got a lot of copyright claims on YouTube for it by Josh Woodward, but I believe it was a bot that copyright claimed all those because Josh Woodward himself, the artist who did all the music for this game, which again it's like all acoustic guitar, it's beautiful, went back, and before I even had like an opportunity to be like, I can do this, he went back and revoked the copyright claims. Like he just manually was like, no, he's streaming this game, it's fine, he's not stealing my he's not infringing on my copyrights here, and just removed them himself, which is frankly going above and beyond. So shout outs to that guy. And the music is excellent. It really is excellent music in this game. It's all just like acoustic, chill, relaxing guitar, very pleasant, very fun. That's why I like this game, is it's all very positive and friendly. And the big thing is I'm playing at the moment by myself, but I can play with, even on Switch, I think it's up to 8 people at a time. I'll actually hop out of my farm. I can hop in just like a random. Pocket Camp is very different. On the surface, it's Animal Crossing, but if you like do any sort of digging on it, you're like, no, this is just a mobile game that is really wanting money. That is one of Nintendo's worst examples of. That's one of the worst example of loot boxes ever, actually, because the coolest, objectively, like the coolest furniture in the game is always limited time, and you can only get it through the loot box, the fortune cookies that you can only get with real money. There are other fortune cookies you can get with in-game currency, but they don't have the cool items. They just have the general items that you could get either anyway. Would I play with you if you got this game? Well, I mean, like, that's the thing, is like, I've got this, I don't have this for Switch yet. I want to at some point, because it does seem like a really nice, I like the idea of like a bit of a mobile-ish game that I could casually hop in and hop out of. But I don't have it for Switch yet, and I don't think it's crossplay. But I do have it for PC at least. That is kind of a concern, isn't it? Because a lot of people are like, oh, if this is Animal Crossing, this is awesome. And there is more of an objective to the mobile game, weirdly. Even though it's just like, it's not as fun. It's not as fun as the real game. Even though it gives you more of an objective, but it's not as fun to do, weirdly. Okay, true. So what this is I can find other people's farms. I can set my own permissions for my farm. I currently have mine set to anybody can join. I could have it set to completely private if I wanted, where only friends could join. Or I could set it to just only me, I think. But I have it set to public. Anybody can join, but unless they're my friend, they can only harvest. Because if they harvest, the money and the inventory that I gain from the harvesting just goes into the farm's inventory. It doesn't go into their personal inventory. So it only helps me if people harvest. So it's like, you can get around trolls that way. You can set it to plant and harvest, where people can plant stuff as well, because planting takes money, obviously. People could be planting really shitty stuff, or planting it in places you don't want it, or whatnot. So friends, usually I give friends permission to plant and harvest. But to the public, I just have it set to harvest only. But, so we're just gonna hop in a random one. This is just some random person's farm. It's such a, and I think that's a shame. I can appreciate Pocket Camp for what it is, and I get that Animal Crossing is not. I'm currently away. Please plow after harvesting. Please don't feed the animals. Excuse the mess. Wait, I didn't know you could do this. You can just have stuff up when people aren't here. Is that a thing now? I have been kind of worried about that, but I don't think that they would try to make... I don't think that they would make that mistake. Because they do know the different... These are different audiences. Wow. So, like, nothing's here. Clearly, people did a lot of harvesting and didn't replant like the person asked them to. Oh, do they got the modern house over here? I actually want to get that, but it costs a lot of ribbons, so it's gonna take me a bit. But if I actually work in somebody else's farm, it adds to like a little bonus meter on my end that whenever I... Oh, look at this. Look at this little yard they got. This is actually really nice. We'll just go into their house. It's fine. Ooh. Dang, this house is big. I got like a little tree house right now on mine, which is not nearly as nice. They got like unused rooms and stuff. What the heck? What the heck? A lot of the stuff with the house is like decorative, but that's how you get the tickets. The fourth and final currency is by doing some of these crafty, like either cooking something, which takes resources that you make that you get on your farm, or painting something. Like if I paint a picture of a mushroom, it takes mushrooms to make it, which is kind of silly, but that's just how they work into the mechanic. I kind of like that. That's kind of neat. Wait, so can I go into my friend set up a farm? I don't know if I don't know if it took anything. They didn't say anything about not eating their dinner. That's the thing is, if I harvest their dinner, they still get all the stuff for it, but I'll still leave it for them. Like they'll get it. So wait, find farms. Filter. Favorites. I don't know if if you're supposed to set it up for maybe friends. I don't know if you have to like set it up for that, but yeah, there was like no person there. I don't know how to do that. Set up like a dedicated farm. Because before, I have another farm that I was streaming consistently, but my friend was having to like hop on to like open up the farm, but that person didn't have one. So that's weird. Like I've never seen that before. So oh. Yeah, you can set like, yeah, build, plant, and harvest. Harvest only is for guests. It's set to public. You can rename it whatever you want. The name literally means nothing, because even when your it's just like what you want to call it. Because even when your friends come to your farm, it'll just say, for me, it says Nate's Farm. So, I do need. There is like guest books that they added, which I like. When people come to your farm, nobody signed mine because nobody likes me. Well, see, but they weren't out and about. Like, well, they may have been in somebody else's farm, maybe, but the farm still closes when you leave the farm. That's what I'm saying. Is like they should have before it had to be like somebody had to be in the farm at all times. So that's like really. I'm gonna have to Google that. But yeah, somebody can like hop in here and be like, "Hey, cool farm," and then they sign the guest book and everything. It's neat. Usually randos don't stay in my farm for long, but it is technically there. So crops are pretty straightforward. Crops, as you place them, they cost money, and then they're like a one-time harvest thing. Animals, you place them, which costs money, and then you have to keep them fed. Not that they die, like you can't kill your animals, which is good, because I usually leave this game for days on end. But their little meter of like when they're ready to harvest again doesn't count down if they're not being fed. You have to keep them fed so that they continue their little counter. Right there, the 32 minutes 42 seconds. That'll pause when they're not fed, so you have to keep them fed. Fish are a little bit different from your typical animals, which actually I can I got like little warp points, which also cost ribbons, but that's kind of nice to look at the menu and do that. Fish, you just place, and then every time you don't have to feed them or nothing. They just replenish after a period of time, and they just give you money and fish and stuff. on Steam of how to do it. That's cool. That's good to know that you can like do that. That's actually really cool. Because I like the idea of having a dedicated server and stuff. I just didn't know you could do that. Trees you plant and are only harvestable on certain seasons, but they're harvestable unlimited times, kind of like fish. They're just, it's like every season that they're supposed to be harvestable, they're harvestable. Whereas crops are the opposite of that. Trees you can only harvest on certain seasons. Crops you can only plant on certain seasons. So once you plant them, once they're fully grown, they're harvestable anytime, but they're only harvestable once again. So crops are the most, like, I'd say straightforward thing in this game. Make sure I got like a little petting zoo going on over here. Why don't fish make new fish? Fish do make new fish. That's the whole idea. Is they replenish over time, so you just have to wait for them to... yeah, you know. And then they're replenished, and then you can go fishing for more fish. And apparently fish don't eat, so... But everything, every type of crop, every type of animal, every type of tree is, it levels. And then you level, and your farm levels. As your farm levels up, you unlock new stuff to place in your farm. You also... certain crops and animals are only unlocked by having, like, for instance, these are like the base level alpacas. To have Surrey alpacas, I have to get these to like level 3 or something, which I already do. So these are actually what, level 8? What was that, level 18? Yeah, they're almost a level 19. So certain, like, you just, but again, it all like kind of works. It does feel a little bit mobile gamey. I get it, and I it's not for everybody, but for me, I love just going into a game and just very passively running around and doing stuff. It's a good streaming game for me, which I know you don't stream games, Brackenhawk, but it's a good streaming game for me because it's something that I can really mindlessly do and ramble on about stuff and not... Oh, and make new tiles? I guess I could see that, like, logically, but mechanically that would make it too easy because you're getting the money from from harvesting the fish anyways, which then in turn you can place more fish tiles. Like, you could argue it away, I guess, with like saying, well, they're like, my treehouse is a lot smaller. It's still nice, but it's a lot smaller than that fancy modern house, but we're working on it. We got a new song, Old MacDonald. Yeah, let's get playing. Gonna get copyright claimed. I mean, to an extent, not Minecraft. Well, I guess Minecraft, yes, but to an extent, Animal Crossing is like that. That's one reason I like Animal Crossing, because it is something I can hop in and out of. That's one thing I'm really excited about. Like, I love playing Animal Crossing on the PC. Obviously, I stream it. I love the texture pack we're working on, but I'm really excited about the new Animal Crossing to have it not only on the TV, but then to just be like, boop, okay, now it's mobile. But to have it, like, have both, because I guess, I mean, obviously Animal Crossing has been on 3DS and the original DS as well, actually, for Wild World. So it's been mobile before, but to have it on a hybrid console, it seems like a perfect game for a hybrid console. Yeah, yeah, it's like, I think even anybody that likes Animal Crossing, that loves it as much as we do, it's like it's not really designed for long periods of play. You're supposed to hop in, kind of do your thing, leave, maybe hop back in later in the day, say hi to your villagers and stuff. I know, I want it so bad. I am gonna be streaming the heck out of that game. I'm probably gonna have like literally just Animal Crossing streams where it's like, okay, we're gonna play Animal Crossing GameCube for a bit. Okay, now we're gonna play Animal Crossing Switch for a bit. The benefit of Animal Crossing Switch is that it's gonna be very interactive for the stream as well. Everybody should be able to kind of hop in and like we'll all be able to share fruit and everything really easily, which you can do in GameCube, because if you give me like codes and stuff, we could share fruits from our towns and whatnot. But I won't have to like share my memory card data for you guys to hop over or anything. It actually will just, you guys could just connect and stuff. So there's gonna be like new things to the Animal Crossing game that I'm really looking forward to. But we just gotta be patient because they haven't talked. When I'm at my dad's, play it all day because I can only play it when I'm at my dad's. Oh no. I don't like changing the time in the game. I know a lot of people do. If one of four is still in chat here, one of four, because of when he streams in the middle of the night for him. So if he wants to show you guys anything in game, he has to. He just flipped it around. He's just 12 hours, I think, ahead or behind or something like that. Where 12 p.m. or not 12 p.m. 12 a.m. is 12 p.m. and vice versa. So when it's midnight for him, it's noon in game. That way everybody can kind of see what it's at. But even that, I'm like, I can't do it. Oh, that bothers the crap out of me. So, goodness gracious. Oh, I need this fish apparently for a quest. I actually should put down some of that fish somewhere. Some of that fish. So, and some people do. I don't. I went towards the end of the lifespan of I say lifespan of when I was playing Wild World, which was after literally years. I may buy that just to expand over this way, but get some of these fish in here because apparently I need them for a quest. There are quests in this game. There are like missions of like, get this many of this thing, get this many of this thing, and then that gives you ribbons. That's a great early game way of getting ribbons. But I did towards the end of Wild World. I changed the time around and played around with the seasons. I did use what was that called? Action replay. I did some action replay codes and everything with that. But typically, like, I haven't once cheated with the GameCube Animal Crossing because I'm just like, I don't want to though. It's like it's its own world. Like, it's got stuff going on in the game that it feels too much like it's its own thing that I don't want to mess with that, if that makes any sense. It feels like its own world. Oh, they added some new stuff. This game is obviously out full release, but they added some new things, which is pretty cool. These are purely decorative. Well, actually, that's a lie. They did change it. The pathways you move a little bit faster on. So, like, I'm just walking right now. This is me walking on the pathway, so you move like a little bit faster. Running on a pathway, running normally. It's just slightly faster to get around. Obviously, if you put down like the little transport, I got like, this takes me to my fish hatchery. This takes me to like another farming area. That takes me to my tree house. This takes me to my other fishing place with like the ducks and stuff. This is kind of just like my own little tropical area. Oh, I did it. I did a quest. Yay. Oh, I gotta feed my ducks. This is a nice chill game to hang out and stuff. I think, especially because Animal Crossing isn't going to be out probably for a while, I think this last Nintendo Direct was their last chance to announce a release date for it to be an earlier year release thing. So being as they haven't officially announced like a proper release date for it yet, I don't think it's going to be till latter half of the year. Fall, maybe even the holiday season. Oh, hey, May. So there is chat, obviously. There is emotes as well, which you kind of set up. Those are, again, cosmetic things you set up. Oh yeah, and they're helping with the cows and stuff. See, that's kind of nice. You can have like random people hop in. Oh yeah, I totally get like some people have to change the time and everything. I luckily am not in that position where I like have to, but that's something that's really nice about Animal Crossing, and you'll have that option once you, because the Switch is obviously you have a Switch, I believe, so you'll suddenly have it where you can have it wherever you want, and it's gonna be perfect that I can again boot it up for the day, stream it or whatnot, but then after stream, if I want to just like pull it out and play on, like, sit in the living room on the couch or in bed at night and play, my boyfriend's gonna be like, hey babe, you wanna cuddle or something? I'll be like, I'm playing Animal Crossing. I thought everybody had Twitch flags, also Discord flags. This is like a nice little chatty person. That's pleasant. Aww. You can make friends in this game. Oh yeah, so Animal Crossing is gonna totally scratch that itch down the road of like having something more idle that I can kind of hop in and out of on the Switch. But right now there's not a whole lot of games. Like, I feel like every Switch game I have right now really requires my attention at all times, and sometimes I just want to kind of like passively watch TV or something and just look up and down between the game and the TV, and this game has that benefit, so that's why I would probably get this for Switch right now. But again, once Animal Crossing's out, I mean, Animal Crossing's probably going to scratch that same itch. Have you tried Yonder? No, I don't know what that is, actually. The name sounds familiar, so I might have actually checked that out and then forgotten. But I don't own it, I know that much. Maybe I should get New Leaf and play on that. I've heard New Leaf is really good. There are things I like about New Leaf from what I've seen of like playthroughs, and then there are other things that I don't really care for. Like, I don't want to be the mayor. I don't want to work on all like the town stuff necessarily. Like, leave Tortimer to do all that work. So I'm kind of worried about that being a thing in the new one, but the fact that you can just freely like it had Street Pass features to it where you could just like Aww. Just somebody that hopped in for a while, helped out, and then said hi, chatted for a bit, and then hopped out. That was super nice. Aww, I like nice people. There's so much negativity out in the world. You gotta have some positivity. Like, I always try, like, I try to keep my channel to just be like a positive vibes place. I know I get cranky sometimes and everything, but I really try to keep my channel to be a place of positivity and good vibes, because there's so much negativity out in the world. Sometimes you just need to have a place for some good, happy times. It showed there was something new. Where's the new thing? It showed there was. I swear it did. Oh, where's the one house thing? It was around here somewhere. Where's the modern? Oh, I guess it was. No, it was in here. All that stuff was decorative stuff. This is actually like real stuff. 25 ribbons for the modern cottage. And it's got 4 stages, and every stage, so 100 ribbons. Every stage of the modern cottage is 25. Have you tried Yonder? I think you'd like it. It's my go-to chill game for a while. Exploration, bit of farming quests, no monster or anything, just feel good. That's kind of what I like about this. But see, I have both on Switch and PC. I have Stardew Valley, and I like that you have a designated area. Like, if you don't have to even do any of that in the game if you don't want to. But if you want to go fight some monsters and stuff, you can go to the mine. I guess you probably do need to mine some, but it's kind of its own separate thing of the game, whereas like most of the game, if you just want to farm, you can just farm. Or if you just want to fish or whatnot. And I like that about it. I've kind of been interested. I'll check out Yonder. I will check out Yonder. And I'm also interested in My Time at Portia, which I guess is now coming to... I was going to get it on PC at some point, but I guess it's also coming to Switch. So I'm just like, that sounds like a great game for Switch as well. It's that, again, it's that kind of chill, positivity thing going on. So, ooh, I need this for... thing. Oh, I guess that's a type of tree, I guess. Was I not in the... I was in trees, not crops. Good to know. I will plant some cactuses at some point. Do I have any quests for... If it has like a little checklist beside it, that's when it shows it's a questy thingy. If it is like grayed out entirely, it's because I haven't unlocked it. If it's like if it's like transparent, it's because it's not the right season for it. Only negativity here. No, Akino, we're very positive here. This is a positive, happy place. So you can kind of see like the range of the times that they take. Some things take 2 days, and other things take like 10 minutes and stuff. 10 minutes, like right there, lettuce, 10 minutes. So I'm gonna start planning stuff for a while from now. I'm gonna probably start wrapping up the stream here in a bit. But I'll go ahead and plant something. Oh, it's actually, I can plant some... I'm going to plant some rye. We actually get like the same resource from both wheat and rye, but rye is worth more. So it costs more to plant, but we also get more of a payout. So you don't have to water your crops, but if you keep your crops watered, it speeds up the countdown timer. So by default, it's like 2 days. If you don't water them, it takes 48 hours. But it reduces that by a certain percentage if you keep them watered. So if you're in a hurry, I'm not. Like, who knows when I'm coming back to this. I'm not playing it as dedicated as I was before. So your crops don't, even though it's all set in real time, your crops don't seem to die, or at least you have to be away for like a long time. So I've never seen my crops like die on me. So that's the nice thing about it is, oh, did I run out of, I ran out of fuel. Hold on, let me go fuel up here. The gas station, I think costs 25 ribbons when you get it. It's something expensive like that, but it pays out more than these individual. These are just like 6 ribbons, I think, a piece, but they take longer to fuel up and they don't fuel you up as much. They have like a lower total capacity, so it's good to get the gas station when you can get it. And then we'll just hop back here. I was gonna say, it's like, I think I have money. I do. I'm fine. I just didn't have the fuel. The benefit of this is it's all just like a few buttons. Like the tilling button is the same as the harvesting and the watering and the planting and everything. You just have to like go in and select what you want to plant, and then it's just that easy. It's just that easy. But that's just the benefit of this game, is it's just kind of a relaxed, chill farming time. My Time at Portia I'm interested in because there is a bit of like monster stuff. I like the whole vibe of like the aesthetic of it seems like really pleasant. Because it is very much a like an over-the-shoulder run around sort of game. There's a lot of scale to My Time at Portia, whereas like the town and everything kind of towers over you and everything, you kind of look around and you kind of feel enveloped in that world, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like a pleasant sort of area. And it's set, I believe, in a post-apocalyptic world where now I'm one of a few people that have workshops. So I'm taking on jobs to basically rebuild after the apocalypse is the idea. I'm gonna kind of wait to see especially how it ports, because it does seem a little bit I played the demo, not on stream. Sorry, guys. I just played the demo in my free time on PC. And I like it well enough. It does seem a little bit janky at times, which is not, like, the worst thing. But, it does seem like Stardew Valley in the sense that there's, like, a little bit of a driving force of, like, there is... You're wanting to get things done quickly because there's, like, certain time limits for certain things. Kind of how the seasons work in Stardew Valley. But Stardew Valley, I know that the year's always going to roll around and everything, at least. So if I really miss something, it's not the end of the world. That's what I like about Stardew Valley, is you can kind of set your own personal objectives, your own personal challenges, that if you make them, you feel good, you feel accomplished, you did the thing you set out to do. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. That time's going to roll around again. You're going to have another year, and it's not going to be like, it's long enough that you want to try to get it the first time around, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. It's always going to roll around again. You can always keep going, and it kind of helps ease off that pressure a little bit because of it, and that's always really exciting about it. I really like that about Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley got me through like a really tough time. I really need to start streaming more Stardew Valley again. I haven't played it in quite a while. It has been just too long. So, I need to get back into that. But yeah, I'll look into Yonder for sure. And yeah, I'm kind of holding off on my time at Portia. But I will definitely take your recommendation for Yonder into account, because I like farming games that aren't like, no, I don't like Farming Simulator, because that is like too realistic, and then that just becomes a job for me. I get that some people still like it, but I'm like, this is too much to keep track of and remember and everything. I like more of this kind of level of farming. Oh, flowers are a different thing as well. They're kind of like the animals, except that it costs money to feed animals, but the flowers, you just have to water them, and watering them, it doesn't cost any money. In fact, you don't even have to refill a watering can. You just go up and say water. So you have to keep them watered for their little timer to tick down, but it's free to, you just water them. Oh, my hydrangea's leveled up. That's good. Warp. I definitely could see how this, like, I don't always go back to this. Basically, when I play this by myself a lot, it's because I'm wanting to do something creative with my farm, but I'm kind of running out of things. I'm like, I don't know what else I really want to work on. So I'm kind of getting a little bit burnt out of this game for now. But the creative aspect of it is what makes it fun single player. But it's really fun multiplayer to run around and work on your farm, or hop over to your, like, you do all the stuff you need to do in your farm for a while, hop over to your friend's farm and help them out with their farm. The multiplayer aspect of it is what really makes this game special. No, I'm like about to wrap up, I think. But thank you anyways. But that's what makes this game so awesome, is the multiplayer aspect of it. And being able to hop in with friends and run around and just have, again, a relaxed, no stress time. Like, I'm not worried about messing up my friend's farm, because I don't usually have like usually it's just, usually they give me permissions to like harvest and stuff, or not harvest, plant and stuff, but usually I just go in and harvest anyways. I'm like, just tell me what to do. Like, I'll harvest is pretty, like, it's pretty safe to assume you're not gonna mess things up if you harvest. But then if I want to do anything else, like plant something, I'm like, okay, what do you need planted? What do you need? Where do you need what? And it's easy enough to do that without worrying about messing that up. This is some like Stranger Things music going on. Very synthwave. Every gender is sexy. I'm definitely down. Are you gonna be ready at 6? If you're ready at 6, I'll definitely want to play Wargroove, because then we'll have plenty of time before Darwin gets there. Because I do want to play more Wargroove. I'm so bad. Okay, what are we? You don't know what gender I am. Any gender. That's true. A fox in a sheep's clothing, except not really, because Akeno is very blunt sometimes. So not really. You don't even pretend to be nice. You're just a big old meanie, Akeno. I live on the wild side. Oh dear. Oh dear. Please stop, guys. Please stop. It's getting real bad. But yeah, I guess I'm sort of wrapping up now. It's about 12:30. It's a little bit early, but nothing crazy. I will be back tonight doing some multiplayer stuff at about 6 p.m. Central Time. We're gonna play some Wargroove multiplayer stuff, and I'm gonna continue to be really bad. And I'm sure Ash is gonna get real mad at me and be like, Nate, you killed us again. But I will try. I'm gonna try to get better at tactical games, because Wargroove is super cute. I love it. I love how it looks. But I'm real bad at it. So we're gonna continue to try to get me better at games. He's my trainer. He is my sensei in the world of pretty much every game that I'm not good at, which is like pretty much every game. So you know how that works. Let me wrap up this stuff. Go ahead. I'll harvest that, and we'll do a painting of a daffodil. Yay. Keep this going. These don't need to continue going, so alrighty. And then I guess that's about it. Let me find somebody to... Oh, no, not photo... There is a photo mode to this, which is quite fun to play around with. But let me find somebody to... Oh, gosh. Guys. You know, but you don't help me. You just whoop my butt. You don't actually help me. When I play with Jay, Jay's actually, like, told me stuff and been like, hey, you should try this thing out, and it'll help you with doing this thing. Like, I was like, oh, like, I didn't know that in Smash Brothers, I didn't know that Inkling could just, like, refill at will. I thought you had to empty their tank entirely, and he's like, nah, just hold down block and then press B, and then you can refill it. Well, I'm like, that is a game changer. Love it. Thank you. So that was, like, a huge deal when he told me that. And then he told me how to, like, short jump and everything. You never ask for help. I never thought I needed to. I could have told you. It's alright. It's totally fine. Okay, let me see who's streaming right now. Not DIY Crossing today. I know. They're taking a day off, probably out of complete and utter exhaustion. After a 7 hours, guys, that's a long stream. I've done 7-hour streams before. I've done 12-hour streams before. Those are always exhausting. Like, that is a lot. What am I doing? Oh my gosh, I was like browsing through YouTube. That was not helping at all. Who's streaming? Fairy Wings. Fairy Wings is streaming. Well, knackered. Oh gosh, I love your accent. It's so good. It was lovely. Because in stream yesterday, you're just like, I am knackered, and I'm just like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Our friend Jay is also very, very British, so. Okay, we're gonna raid Fairy Wings. She's, for those of you who do not know, she does a lot of chainmail art and stuff, so very crafty person. She's pretty cool. She listens to some really, like, punk awesome music that I always jam out to. And yeah, and then she does chainmail. So, I will talk to you all later. Have a lovely rest of your day. I will see you guys hopefully tonight. Maybe if you're around to watch us play some Warframe at 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay, see you guys later.